Hey guys, what's going on? It's Chamber here. So the Modern Warfare 2 beta came out, and by the time this video is out, it might already be over, but we're just going to talk about, I've been playing the beta a lot. We're just going to be talking about some of the interesting things for FPS. So I'm not going to do an actual FPS boost guide yet, just because the game is not out yet, and I just want to show some interesting things before the game is out, because there might be different things when the game actually does release. There might be better optimizations, higher FPS, maybe different settings. Anyways, I just want to go over some very basic things that we can go over just to show the FPS. So let's start off by looking over some settings real quick, just for you guys who are interested. Make sure obviously in full screen. All this stuff is fine in here. Quality, 100% render res. So image scaling, FSR, DLSS, something like that. That's where we go over it. And Fidelity FX Cast. Fidelity FX Cast is like a sharpness thing. If you are having trouble and the game's very grainy, my monitor actually has a sharpness one, and my GPU already has it built in. But if you want to try this, I'm not going to use it because you cannot use FSR or image scaling. Anti-aliasing, just leave everything just keep everything basically on all low except particle quality at high. This does give a little bit of FPS boost. Don't use on-demand texture streaming. Keep the 2 cache settings on, and you want reflex to be on for most people. View, one thing though, set first-person camera movement to 50. It kind of helps with your recoil. So to test today, we're going to be using Ground War just because it's a little easier to test. There's no custom lobbies, so I'm just using a Ground War, and we're going to be testing to see, okay, what kind of FPS goes in like a spot away from other people on the map. So I'm going to get into the map, into the game now, and then we're obviously going to test and go over the different settings. Okay, so here we are in the Ground War map right now. So right now I have about 220 FPS right here. This is with my 6900 XT. If you guys are interested, just look in the top left. Underneath the FPS you can see all my clock speeds and stuff. So now we're going to be comparing FPS. So first thing we're going to do, we're going to test NVIDIA image scaling. So this does work on AMD GPUs. So we're going to turn it on. Now there's different things. We're going to turn off the sharpness one. We can test anywhere from ultra quality performance. Let's start with ultra quality. And as you can see, I'm getting about 240 FPS. Quality is a good bit lower. As we can tell, if we actually go back to, let's go back actually real quick to just nothing. I'm using about 92%, 98% of the GPU, so I'm heavily GPU bound. Obviously, lowering the resolution on this stuff will significantly help that. So if we go here, turn this on. This is just on ultra quality. We are at 60, 90% GPU. So this significantly lowers the GPU usage, making it a lot more CPU. Now, about 10, 15 more FPS is actually pretty significant, but let's just see. I'm not going to go through all these settings. Let's set performance. Now I'll set balanced. And oh, we're getting the same thing, basically the same thing, maybe even a little lower. Variance. Let's go to performance and the same thing. So literally setting ultra quality got me the same FPS, and this looks significantly worse. Just because at that point the CPU isn't fast enough. But let's see. So if we go to ultra quality and max out the sharpness, let's see how it looks. It looks a little bit better. I'm gonna move around so I don't get kicked real quick. Looks a little better, but like this definitely still looks a little blurry and stuff, and I see like ghosting whenever I move, if that makes sense. So it definitely is not the clearest thing to use. If I were you, I'd probably not use it. Someone's trying to shoot me. I can't figure it out. Okay. But yes, definitely wouldn't recommend NVIDIA image scaling unless you have to. Same thing with DLSS. I don't have DLSS. I don't have an NVIDIA card. But if you are using it, then I wouldn't recommend. Oh, let's see. Okay. Yeah. Oh, all right. Let me get back to this spot, and then we'll talk about FSR. Okay, back at the spot now. So now I'm just going to turn off NVIDIA image scaling. As you can see, we're at about 220 FPS still. Let's go to graphics, turn on FSR. So let's just start off with ultra quality. You can see we are GPU bound right now, and 88%, about the same. So I could test more. No, let's move back a little bit just to make sure. So you can see it's still about 220 FPS. Let's change this to performance and the same FPS. So what does this mean for something such as what is coming for Warzone 2? So let's talk about this. real quick. So for something such as Warzone 2 coming out later this year, that means that something such as FSR, DLSS, image scaling will not actually help us. So we're going to be severely CPU and RAM limited. Ground War is the most similar to Warzone. It's actually a little more GPU bound than Warzone 2 will be, but obviously this is what we have now. If you are using modern like warfare and stuff, obviously this DLSS FSR will help, but your quality won't be as high because it's going to lower your resolution, so it's less and less GPU bound. Obviously you can use that. AMD GPUs right now have significantly less GPU usage in these games just because there's not a driver overhead issue like with NVIDIA. So AMD GPUs are able to actually use a little bit more. They're a little more CPU bound, which is better. You don't want to be running 99% GPU usage. That causes a lot of issues. But if you have enjoyed the video, hit the like button down below, subscribe. If you want more FPS for the Modern Warfare 2 release, hit the link button down below, go to my website, check out my service. You can also, if you want to support me directly, help me out get new hardware so I can make sure that I have the highest FPS for Warzone 2. Think about subscribing to my Patreon, obviously really help, and you get supreme VIP access to my Discord. If you want to join the public part of the Discord, feel free to join with the link down below. But I hope you guys have enjoyed, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.